You'll be sorry. You're being a very foolish girl.
Miss Jackson, look out!
Jeez, we've had it.
Come on!
Yeah, you all right?
Oh.
Can you get up? Get Dr. Miller, quick! God. He seemed all right, then he tried to get up and just fell back unconscious.
Hold that, what do you make?
Take Martin inside and phone the police.
You all right, Jim?
Yeah. I'm fine. Just a bit groggy, that's all. Now, don't try and get up. We'll get a stretcher.
Stretcher, you gotta be joking.
I'm all right. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
Back to work.
No way. At least not until I've given you a complete examination.
I told you I'm all right.
Mr. Fletcher, you heard what the doctor said.
Yes, ma'am.
But all happened so quickly. Harry Martin turned up wanting to see Joyce again.
Didn't he see his wife earlier this morning?
Yes, he did.
Why was he permitted a second visit on the same day?
No idea, Mrs. Davidson.
Who permitted this visit?
Well, it was, Jim Fletcher, I think. Well, he was at the desk anyway.
I see. Well, we'll sort that one out later. Go on.
Well, Jim Fletcher told me to take Joyce into the garden. Well, I saw this delivery truck standing in the loading bay, but I didn't think anything of it. Suddenly, out of the blue, I heard Jim yelling. I turned around to find this delivery truck man about to hit me. When he came face to face with me, he panicked, I suppose, and just managed to push me over. Then he and Harry Martin made a grab for Joyce and started dragging her towards the truck. Well, I grabbed Harry and we all fell in a heap.
Are you saying that Joyce Martin wasn't attempting to escape?
On the contrary, she was being abducted.
Why? All right, what happened then?
Well, the two men left Joyce and ran towards the truck. Well, Jim tried to stop them. They were too much for him and just knocked him down. The truck took off through the gates. Guard fired a couple of shots, but it was nothing much any of us could do.
Did he hit anyone?
No, I don't think so.
Well, there's going to be a lot of explaining to do when the police arrive. I'd better let Jim Fletcher's family know of his condition. No, don't go, Meg. Sit there. Take it easy for a while. Mrs. Leila Fletcher, this is Erica Davidson speaking. Mrs. Davidson from the Wentworth Detention Centre. I'm afraid I have some rather bad news for you, Mrs. Fletcher. Your husband has been hurt. He has a severe head wound and may need hospitalization. Oh. Oh, I see. No, I didn't realize that. Nevertheless, perhaps you would like him to ring you. No, not at all. I'm sorry to have bothered you. Goodbye.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, nothing wrong. Apparently, the Fletchers are separated. It's just that she sounded so... not bitter. Disinterested.
Well, there are no immediate signs of concussion.
Good. I told you I was all right.
However, I do advise x-rays for possible fractures.
Look, you said yourself there was no signs of concussion. I've taken worse than that in my life.
No, what I said was there are no immediate signs. You're unconscious for several minutes. You may not be as tough as you think, you know. What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I was joking.
Yeah, well, I don't find jokes like that very funny.
I'm sorry. However, that doesn't alter what I said about X-rays. You can never really be sure what internal damage has been done.
No way.
Mr. Fletcher, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. If you don't have those X-rays, I shall have to declare you unfit for duty.
All right, I'll have one.
Good. I'll drive you to the hospital myself. Make sure you do.
And then they grabbed me and started taking me towards the truck. Oh, good, I thought I've really had it this time. Then Mrs. Jackson did a flying tackle like nothing on earth. You should have seen it. Down they went. And then Fletch starts building up towards the truck, but oh, they laid into him good and proper. He ends up on the ground. Smack on his head he was.
I hope they didn't hurt him too bad.
Oh, I don't know. There was a lot of blood.
Oh, I wish I'd been there. I always miss out on all the excitement.
Oh, you'd bloody keel over with fright if something like that happened to you.
Do you think your husband got a bullet through his guts?
Oh, yes, you silly old bag. That'd make you real happy, wouldn't it? A few dead bodies lying all over the place and you'd think that was real good.
Lay off, Doreen.
Oh, mind your own business.
How'd you like a couple of your teeth loosened?
That fixed her.
What was all that about?
Oh, I don't know. She's been acting a bit strange lately. Do you think they'll try it again? Oh, I didn't really think they'd try it the first time.
Look, I told you they'd get rough.
Yeah. They must be real desperate. Desperate to get their hands on all that money. Well, they've got a fat chance now. I'll never tell them where it's hid. Never.
Oh, how are you feeling, Mr. Fletcher?
I'm fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with me. Right, Doctor?
I'm taking him for X-rays just to make sure.
Good. I think you should take a couple of days off. Give yourself time to recover.
No need for time off, but thanks anyway, Mrs. Davidson.
Well, we'll see. You will let me know the results of the X-rays.
Yes, of course.
Oh, Mr. Fletcher, I spoke to your wife earlier.
My wife?
Yes, I mentioned to her that you'd been hurt and would probably need hospitalization. I really think you should contact her, let her know you're all right.
You had no right to talk to my wife without my knowledge. And I'll thank you never to do that again.
Come on, girls, move along. No. Penny always didn't hold him back. No, stay here.
Oh, Lizzie, come along, hurry up.
I was wondering if I could have a word with the governor for a moment, Mrs. Jackson. It's very important.
Not now, Lizzie. Now off to bed.
Oh, please, Mrs. Jackson. I just want to have a little word in her ear.
I'm afraid you'll have to wait for the proper time like everyone else around here.
Oh, be a sport, Mrs. Jackson. Can't you just tell her that I want to see her?
Look, Lizzie, I don't even know if the governor's still in the prison.
It's very, very urgent.
Why? What's the matter?
I've got some secret information that I think the governor might like to hear.
All right then, Lizzie. Well, you wait back in the cell. I'll see if the governor can speak to you before lights out.
Thank you, Mrs. Jackson.
Excuse me, Mrs. Davidson. Could you spare a moment before you leave? Lizzie would like to see you.
I'll see her in the morning.
Well, she was quite adamant she wanted to see you right away.
And what about?
Well, I don't know. She said it was urgent.
I'm sure it can wait till the morning.
She said she had some information for you.
Information about what?
Well, I don't know, but I don't think it's one of her tricks. She sounded really serious.
All right, then.
You've gone and taken all the coffee, you old bugger.
Never touch nothing.
This was half full last night, and look at it now. Well, you'd take anything that wasn't nailed down. God, you're a pain in the ass, Lizzie.
Well, Lizzie, what's so important it can't wait till morning?
It was me who took 'em, Mrs. Davidson.
Took what?
Them tablets out of the doctor's surgery.
You mean the bottle of Valium?
That's right. Lynn didn't take 'em.
Well, why didn't you own up before?
Couldn't stand the thought of the pound, Mrs. Davidson. All them mice running over me feet at night and... well, it'd kill me.
Oh, don't talk nonsense, Lizzie. Besides, you know very well a woman of your age and health would never be put into solitary confinement.
I thought you'd be so mad at me you'd throw me in anyway.
Oh, what rubbish. Mrs. Jackson, release Lynn from solitary. Oh, and let the rest of the staff know that all Lizzie's privileges have been stopped until further notice.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Doreen, what do you know about this?
Oh, nothing, Mrs. Davidson. This is the first I've heard of it just then. Honest.
Lizzie, I'll see you in my office in the morning.
Yes, Miss Davidson.
What did you own up for?
What do you think?
I don't know. Looks as though everything's going to be all right because Lynn's coming back.
No thanks to you. All this mess is your bloody fault anyway.
I'm serious, Jim. You shouldn't be drinking.
Yeah, what did I tell you? No fractures, no concussion, nothing.
All the x-rays proved is that you haven't got any fractures. You could still have delayed concussion, in which case alcohol's only going to make it worse.
Yeah, thanks for your concern, Doc, but I think I can look after myself. Now, what are you going to have?
That's not the point.
Look, Doc, I think I deserve a drink after today, don't you? Now, you're going to join me or not? I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, I'll have a beer.
Right, a beer and a double scotch, thanks.
Jim.
Yeah, make that a single. Just ice, thanks.
I don't say I didn't warn you.
Now, come off it, Greg. I mean, I survived the army. I mean, if I can survive Vietnam, I can survive anything.
You're in Vietnam?
Yeah.
What was it like?
Terrific.
Did you see any action?
Yeah, you bet your life I did.
Were you ever wounded?
Yep.
What happened?
Well, we were ambushed. Nobody's fault, really. Just one of those things. One minute we're on routine patrol, next minute they're all around us. I was one of the first hit. I was one of the lucky ones. Some of the poor blokes didn't stand a chance.
How did you get out?
By helicopter. Because we had to wait till nightfall, so we just dug in. I mean, we didn't literally dig in, we just grabbed the bodies and piled them up around us like sandbags, theirs and ours. Then we called up air support. The bloody noise. And the flies. Didn't think I'd ever get out of there.
Jim? You all right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. You weren't such a slow drinker? Come on, you're in the chair.
You've been cleared, Lynn. You can go back to your dormitory. Who did it? I'm not sure.
I still don't see why you told the screws anything. Whether you done it or not, you never tell them nothing.
Yeah. You're pretty good at keeping your mouth shut, aren't you, Doreen?
Well, confessing to the screws is just the same as sucking up to them. They think they got you in the palm of their hand when you tell them something you shouldn't.
I never told them nothing. They think they know the truth, but they don't.
You mean you lied to them?
Of course I did.
But why? No one's going to give you no medal for doing something like that.
I did it for Lynn. No one else was going to help her.
Yeah, well, I was going to do something. I've been thinking all day about what I should do.
Well, you've done enough. Poor little kid. She hasn't had a bleeding chance since the first moment she came in here. And you haven't been much help.
What are you on about? Lynn and me are real good friends.
Yeah, that's why you framed her. 'Cause you want to keep her in here. 'Cause you were lonely without your old mad mate. Weren't you, Doreen?
Don't you say nothing against Frankie. She had more guts than the lot of you put together. Do you want a cup of coffee, Lynn?
No.
Was it all right in the pound? Wasn't too dark, was it?
Go away, Doreen.
I'm real sorry, you know, about what happened. Lynn,
Oh, leave her alone, Doreen. You've caused enough trouble.
Me? Do you want to know who done you in, Lynn? It was Lizzie. It was Lizzie what put those letters in your bag and the tablets in your bed. It was Lizzie who framed you.
Is that true? You horrible old woman, what did you do that for? Didn't you think what had happened to me? I lost my job at the nursery because of you. God, I had a chance to get out of this place and you nearly went and loused it up for good. Oh, you're a mean, despicable old woman, Lizzie Birdsworth, and I hope you rot in hell when your time comes. I don't understand. How could you do such a thing, Lizzie? I've never hurt you once in all the time I've been in here.
Lynn? Lynn?
We were in this little village once. A whole group of us. Can't remember its name. Anyway, this little girl came up to us. She can't have been much more than about 9 years old. Big smile all over her face. She offered us all some water. Well, I didn't take that much notice of her to start with. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw her pull a grenade out of her pocket. Well, I didn't have time to think, you see. I just pulled my gun and I shot her. Through the throat. Bullet went straight through. Took half her neck with it. She just stood there staring at me. Eyes wide open, just looking at me. Then she fell down. I ran over to her, prized her fingers open to get the grenade. It was a rock. Is that true? Do you think I'd lie about something like that? And all for what? For nothing. Nobody gives a damn anymore. No one could care less.
What sort of injuries did he get?
Why do you want to know?
Just curious.
Oh, you bloody doctors, you're all the same. Prying and poking around all the time.
Sorry, I didn't mean to pry.
If you're insinuating that there's something wrong with me, you're mistaken.
Insinuating anything. I was just curious, that's all.
All right, yeah. Look, I'm just a bit edgy, all right? I'll see you later.
I'll drive you home.
No.
I insist.
No, I'm not going home. I'm going to a friend's place.
I'd drive you there, then.
All right?
Lena? Layla!
What the hell do you want?
Open the door.
Go away and leave me alone.
I want to see my kids.
They're in bed.
Open the door, I'll break it down.
You try anything, I'll call the police.
They're my kids too.
They're better off without you. So go away and leave us alone.
What are you doing here, Lizzie? Didn't you hear the work bell?
I'm waiting to see the governor.
What for?
It's about them pills that were stolen from the dock.
Oh, don't tell me you took them.
No, but I told Mrs. Davidson I did.
Why?
I couldn't stand Linny being in solitary any longer.
Look, if she was stupid enough to take the bloody things, then that's her lookout.
She didn't take them.
Then who did?
Oh, you know how it is, Mon. You've been in here long enough. A girl gets fond of another one and she doesn't want her to leave, so she messes up her parole.
Bloody Doreen. That's why she's been onto you, isn't it? Because you know. Oh, I'll fix her.
Oh, no, don't, Mon. Don't get her into any more trouble. I'll be all right. Sometimes pays to have a weak ticker. They can't chuck you into solitary.
Yeah, but Lizzie, they could stop your privileges, take away your fags.
Oh, I'll manage.
Well, you won't have to. I'll keep you supplied with fags as long as I'm in here.
Oh, thank you, Mon.
No worries. Well. So you're out of the pan, eh?
Uh-huh. They let me out last night.
And so Lizzie told me.
Lizzie.
Pity about her taking the rap, isn't it?
She deserves everything she's got coming to her.
There's a rumour flying around the prison it wasn't Lizzie.
But she confessed to it. She told the governor it was her.
Yeah, but Lizzie's a bit of a mental case, you know. She'd do a stupid thing like that.
If it wasn't Lizzie, then who was it?
Well, come on, Lynn, we've got to do some gardening.
Who was it, Monica?
I'll see you later, I've got to go.
See that sly little worm slithering down the corridor?
Doreen?
Hmm?
You mean you think it was Doreen? But that's impossible. Doreen wouldn't do anything to hurt me. She's my friend.
Which is all the more reason why she wouldn't want to see you leaving the prison.
Oh, I don't believe you. It was Lizzie all the time.
Oh, geez, you're a stupid little fool, Warner. No wonder they call you Wonk. Now, why would a mental case like Lizzie want to frame a fly like you? I mean, what has she got to gain by it?
I don't know why Lizzie did it.
OK, you don't believe me. Why don't you go and ask Doreen for yourself?
All right, I will.
Yeah, but you may be in for a bit of a shock. Morning, Mrs. Jackson.
Good morning.
Well?
Well, what?
Did you do it?
Do what?
Frame me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't act so stupid, Doreen. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I wouldn't do anything to hurt you. You know that.
What about keeping me in prison? Would you do that? Did you frame me just to keep me in here?
No, of course I didn't.
Listen, you get up from there and look me in the face. Did you or did you not frame me?
Yeah, I done it. But I had a real good reason, though.
Oh, yeah? What? You're a worm, Doreen Anderson, a low, miserable worm.
But I only did it because I didn't want you to go away. You're the only friend I got, Lynn.
Yeah, well, you haven't got any friends now. I'm through with you.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, please, Lynn, I need you. I had no real friends except you and Frankie. Oh, Lynn, I love you. I want you to stay here with me. Please don't be mad at me.
Bugger off, worm!
Why was Harry Martin allowed a second visit when you knew full well he'd been to the prison earlier that day?
I didn't know about the first visit.
All you had to do was check the book. That's standard procedure, Mr. Fletcher.
Yes, I'm sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again.
I'm afraid all this will have to go down in my report on the matter.
I understand.
I'm pleased to see you're well enough to come back to work.
Thank you.
Dr. Miller says your x-rays are fine.
Yes, everything's satisfactory. Thank you, Mrs. Davidson.
I shall be questioning Joyce Martin later this afternoon. I will require you to be there.
Yes, of course. Will that be all?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, B, taking up a collection. Fags for Lizzie.
Why can't you get her own?
Because Mrs. Davidson stopped all her privileges. She owned up to taking those Valium.
Lizzie, why?
You know, she's covering for Doreen.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let Doreen get her fags.
Oh, get a load of her. She's got 150 grand stashed away and she can't even part with a packet of fags.
Yeah, you heard. Hey, I suppose these fags are for Lizzie.
Of course.
Yeah, well, make sure you don't take them when you get out.
No worries.
Will you shut up that bloody noise?
What's wrong with you?
No, nothing. What do you reckon's the first thing you'll do when you get out?
Dunno. Depends if I sell the shop.
No, you will. What are you going to do with all that money as if I didn't know?
Well, like I was saying to Lizzie, I reckon Fred and me will take a trip to America. Have a look at Disneyland.
Disneyland?
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, good, Struth. You spend all these months cooped up in here and your idea of a good time when you get out is to take hubby to Disneyland.
Well, look, it's my money and I'll spend it my way.
What a waste.
What about you, B? Got any money tucked away?
No. I got nothing. Well, I need money stuck in here anyway. And when I get out, they'll be handing me the old age pension.
You reckon you'll be any of that long?
I sure do.
You know, with what I got, I reckon I could buy a castle in Spain.
Bet you don't.
Why not?
Because your hubby and his mates seem real keen to take that loot. They'll be waiting for you the day you get out of prison.
Yeah, look, why don't you dob them into the cops? That way the police will look after them while you get out of the country.
Yeah, that's a real good idea.
Nah, I couldn't do that. First thing Harry would do is tell the pigs I'm the only one who knows where the loot is.
So what? I mean, you can't prove anything.
Oh, yeah? What happens when I get out? Wouldn't be able to move for D's. They'd follow me everywhere, even to the loo.
Jesus, I hope you've got that money well hidden, Joyce. I mean, if it was my old man looking for it, he would have torn the neighbourhood apart by now.
Yeah. You got a point there.
Yes, Charles. Well, what seems to be the problem?
You.
Me?
You're turning into a do-gooder, Steve, and business is suffering because of it.
To why I picked up a conveyancing job this morning.
I suppose it's for someone in that prison.
And what if it is? It's still easy money.
You seem to be spending all your time there lately, Steve.
Yes?
Jennifer Collins to see you, Mr. Wilson.
Oh, good. Send her in then, will you? Thank you. Yes, Charles. Did you want to talk to me about something?
Oh, no. No.
Well, well, well. The lovely Jennifer Collins.
Hello, Steve.
Well, I see it after years and years of law school, you finally made it to company court.
I've got the documents for the sale of Monica Ferguson's shop.
Good.
When I found out it was Steve Wilson who was acting for the vendor, I couldn't resist the temptation to come and see you.
Now, before anything else is discussed, there is one really important question I have to ask you.
Well, I'm afraid I left the Ferguson file on my desk.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Good. Then I'm going to take you to lunch, and we'll talk about college days and happier times.
Sometime next week, then?
No, right now.
No.
Yes. Do you have anything else better to do?
No, I haven't.
Good. Oh, Charles. Charles, this is Jennifer Collins. Jennifer, Charles Baldwin, my partner.
How do you do?
You probably know Jennifer's father, David Collins, the well-known barrister?
Yes, of course I know him. Indeed I do. A wonderful man. It's a great pleasure to meet you, Miss Collins.
Jenny and I are having some lunch together, Charles.
Steve, I want to have a word with you. It's very important.
Yes, when I get back, if you don't mind. Thanks, Charles. Oh, come on. I know this marvelous Lebanese place. The food is terrific.
Sounds lovely.
Hey, Molly. Suppose you were in my shoes.
Yeah?
Where would you hide a large amount of money?
Dunno. Probably put in a suitcase with 3 locks in it. Stick it in one of them railway lockers.
And that is the first place they'd look for a dummy.
Well, that's the way they do it in the movies.
Martin, you're wanted in the governor's office straight away.
Sure glad I'm not in her shoes right now.
Joyce, do you have any idea at all why your husband would try to force you out of the prison?
No, I don't, Mrs. Davidson.
He went to great pains to set it up. There must have been a reason.
Maybe he missed me, wanted me back home.
Come on now, Martin. You're no Helena Troy.
And what about you, Joyce? Don't you want to be back home?
They got all the gin on me. Be picked up again in no time, then I'd really be stuck in here.
Oh, come on, Martin. What's the real reason?
Did you have any idea your husband would attempt such a thing?
No. Yeah, well, he did threaten to come back and get me out, but I didn't believe him.
Yeah, but why? Why does he want you out of here?
I don't know.
Well, if we can't find a reason for kidnapping, then we must presume it was an attempted escape.
Oh, bleeding hell it was.
You know the penalties for attempted escape, don't you, Martin?
It was his idea, not mine. You can't get me for that.
Harry Martin came to see you twice on the same day, is that correct?
Yes.
Well, I suggest the first time was to arrange the time and place of an escape. The second was to put it into action.
That's not true.
You're lying, Martin.
I had nothing to do with an escape.
Then prove it, Joyce. Tell us why your husband should want to kidnap you.
I tell you, I don't know why.
He pulled a job, didn't he?
No.
He's been in and out of the clink for years for robbery.
So what?
Well, that's his style, isn't it? Armed robbery.
That's got nothing to do with me.
Oh, yes, it has. He pulled a big one. And this time the only mistake he made was you. Somehow you got hold of the money and started spending it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you? I've got your charge sheet here. It reads, sentenced to 6 months for receiving stolen goods, accessory after the fact of an armed robbery. Still don't know what I'm talking about?
That doesn't mean anything.
You've got something on your husband, haven't you,
No.
Joyce? Somehow you've stashed the money away and you won't tell him where it is. So he figures he's going to spring you out of here and then bash it out of you.
No, I keep telling you I don't know anything about it. Now, why don't you just leave me alone?
That'll be all, Mr. Fletcher. Miss Bennett, take Martin back to her cell.
Oh, but Mrs. Davidson, we're just
Do
beginning...
as I say, Miss Bennett.
We nearly cracked her. I reckon another go in an hour's time and she'll be spilling the lot.
There's no need for that sort of technique here, Mr. Fletcher. This is a women's prison, not a concentration camp.
You've already had one visit today. Regulations say 1 a week.
Yeah, well, I thought they might be bent a little. For a friend.
They're better off without you. So go away and leave us alone.
There's no need for that sort of technique here, Mr. Fletcher. This is a women's prison, not a concentration camp.
Oh, the bloody noise. And the flies. Didn't think I'd ever get out of there. Jim? You all right?
Mr. Fletcher?
Hmm?
Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Woman's work's never done, eh? Hmm?
You should be highly commended for your handling of the Martin woman, Jim. I thoroughly agreed with your methods. You know something? I think you and I would make a great team together.
Why do you say that?
We're both tough. We've both got similar ideas on prison discipline, and the women know exactly who's in charge when you're around. Take Mrs. Davidson. She's too soft with them. Well, the women don't respect that. They see it as a sign of weakness. That's why we've got so much chaos here. What they really need is discipline. That's what they respect. You could really go places, Jim. In fact, you could be governor if you put your mind to it.
I've only 2 things to say to you, Miss Bennett. Mrs. Davidson has a very tough job here. Now, I may not always agree with her, but I think she handles the women admirably. And secondly, the methods I used on Martin this afternoon gave me no particular pleasure. I hope I never have to have a session like that in here again.
Ah, Charles. I see you've been keeping my seat warm. You should have joined us for lunch. The food was great.
I had too much work to do.
It's a pity. She's a lovely girl.
By my calculations, you've had a 3.5-hour lunch.
Yes, well, we had a lot to talk about. You know something, Charles? I almost married that girl.
Steve, I want to dissolve the partnership.
You want to what?
I'm tired. I've had enough.
But why?
I've been carrying you for months. You haven't contributed your full share, so I've found someone else.
Come on, Charles. Look, I know we've been through a few rough patches, but business is hardly on the rocks.
If you check with our accountants, you'd find that we're steadily moving into debt.
But that's impossible. The money must be rolling, and I seem to have been overloaded with work recently.
Yes, most of it for bloody prisoners. A bunch of ragged women all seeking free legal advice, and you get caught up in it. I don't know. You used to be a whole lot smarter, Steve. You really surprise me.
How's the big romance?
What big romance?
Sunshine Steve Wilson.
Oh, him.
Oh, him? I thought you said you'd marry him if he asked you.
Well, I changed my mind. It wouldn't have worked anyway.
What happened? Another woman? Well, I think you should get out there and fight for him. He's worth it, isn't he?
He's very ambitious, Bea. He's on the way up. The last thing he'd need round his neck is a woman who's been in prison. Well, Stavros wouldn't marry Irene because she'd been in here. In a way, I can understand both their points of view.
Ah, yeah. Oh, well, not to worry. Plenty more where he came from.
Maybe.
You and Greg Miller had a thing going, didn't you?
Oh, that was years ago. Anyway, he's involved with Meg Jackson. Haven't you told me that often enough?
Ah, that. Just a passing fling. She's too old for him. She'll give him up, you'll see.
No, it's all over with Greg anyway, Bea. And with Steve.
You know, it must be tough. You're young and you're pretty, but you're in the nick. And there are all those dressed-up dolls on the outside. That bloody chance you've got.
Well, your taste in drinks has changed. Bourbon and Coke used to be the order of the day. If I remember correctly.
You do. But I'm older now and wiser.
And more stunning than ever.
So what do you say? Am I stunning enough to take you out to dinner?
No. Oh, it's a matter of principle. I never let a beautiful woman foot the bill. However, I will take you out to dinner.
I see. The beautiful woman pays later. Is that the idea?
Well, that depends on the beautiful woman.
Seriously, Steve, it's my shout. You paid for lunch.
No, and I'll pay for dinner, too.
We'll go Dutch.
Like in the old days?
Remember the little spaghetti cafe?
Memories redolent of garlic, eh?
I wonder if it's still there.
Yes, it is.
My God, that's going back a bit. I remember when you first took me there.
Now, wait a minute. I thought you introduced me to it.
No, it was the other way round. I remember it distinctly. I'd been waiting for ages for you to ask me out, and then suddenly, I think we were having an argument about women's rights or something. Suddenly, right in the middle of it, you said, let's go eat some spaghetti. It was so romantic, I could have married you on the spot.
I wish I'd known.
What?
That you'd have married me then. I was very much in love with you.
I know.
They put a lot of pressure on you, didn't they? That formidable family of yours.
It wasn't only my family, Steve. There were other reasons.
We'd have been good together.
I know that. Now. But I was determined to have a career. You wanted me to be a housewife.
Come on. That isn't true.
Oh, it is, you know. And it would have happened anyway in time. You were the brilliant one, Steve. My career would have had to eventually give way to yours.
Yes, well, I may have been the brilliant one, but I was also working class. And your family thought that was a rather repulsive combination.
Don't put it like that, Steve.
Well, your father thought that I was a working-class upstart.
Oh, he did not. That's not true.
He believed that I was using you to edge my way into his firm.
This is precisely the same argument that we had years and years ago. You still won't believe it was entirely my own decision, will you? Oh, look, let's not quarrel, Steve.
I'm sorry. It's just that I've had a rather depressing day. I didn't mean to take it out on you.
Oh, what's troubling you?
Oh, it's nothing much, I suppose. It's Baldwin. He wants to dissolve the partnership.
That's wonderful.
Oh, it is.
I'm quite serious. You can go it alone. Well, you can do it, you know. You have the reputation now.
Yes, well, unfortunately, that isn't enough. It costs an awful lot to set up a law practice. I just don't have that sort of money.
Well, get a partner. Someone with lots of money behind him who can lean a little on your reputation in return.
Yes. Well, finding someone like that, Jenny, isn't as easy as you may think.
Look, no point worrying about it now. I'll tell you what. Let's go eat some spaghetti. And since you're broke and out of work, I'll pay.
Come on, you two, hurry up. Travers, your boyfriend will be here soon. He wouldn't want to see you looking like that.
Oh, now, come on, Vera. Leave her alone.
Get moving, Smith.
I'll go stick at your bed.
I heard that.
Look, Vera, you and I are going to be in here for the next 100 years, so let's get one thing straight. You are a bloody pain in the ass.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Because it's true.
You report to me immediately after breakfast.
Was that worth it?
Probably not.
Karen! Hello.
Hi.
Did you go to the psych lecture?
Yeah, why weren't you there?
Working on my essay. Well, have you done yours yet?
Most of it.
I've just started mine.
It's due back on Friday.
I know, but my car engine blew up and I've spent a whole week trying to find parts for it.
Couldn't you get an extension in time?
I could try, but they'll never believe a story like that. Hey, listen, there's a seminar on life in prison coming up. Would you like to go?
Yeah, who's giving it?
Someone from the Prison Reform Group and Peter Clements. Should be good.
When's it on?
Tomorrow night. I could pick you up at your place if you like.
I've got something else on. I just remembered.
Oh, well, can't you get out of it? It'll be worth it.
Couldn't you tape it for me?
I suppose I could. But it's much better if you're there. Well, you can ask questions and meet all sorts of people. Hey, they might even bring in a couple of prisoners. That'd be great, you know, straight from the horse's mouth kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry I can't make it, Sue.
No worries. It's a good idea to record it anyway. See you later.
Bye.
Yes?
Miss Collins to see you.
Oh, good. Tell her to come in, will you? Thank you. Well, now, this is a pleasant surprise.
You don't think we're seeing too much of each other? It's just that... Well, you have finished for the day, haven't you?
Yes? Well, actually, I do have to pick up somebody from the university.
Oh, I see. Well, don't let me detain you.
Well, it's not that important. She didn't know I was coming.
Oh, so it's a woman, is it? Anyone special?
No, just a friend. Well, did you have something to say to me?
I got some great news for you. I spoke to Daddy about your partnership problems.
Oh, really? And what did Daddy have to say?
Well, he said that since you have such a solid reputation now, he'd be prepared to take the risk.
What risk?
The risk of financing both of us in a partnership. Wilson and Collins, doesn't it sound terrific? What do you say, Steve?
Well, I'd have to think it over first.
You'd be mad to say no.
Yes, just a couple of days.
Look, Let's go somewhere and have a quiet drink and discuss it.
Look, I'd love to, Jenny. But really, I do have to fly.
Oh, forget the friend. She can take a bus. Business must come first. That's rule number 1.
Tell me something. Do you intend this to be purely a business relationship? Or did you have something else in mind?
Why, whatever do you mean, Steve Wilson? What else but business could it possibly be?
Hey, do you remember what it was about Fletch that was a bit odd?
No, I wish I did. Tried real hard to think what it was after he did me over, but now for the life of me, I can't remember.
It wasn't something the old man had on him at Pentridge?
Yeah, something real juicy the fellas found out about. Gave him a real hard time about something.
Yeah. Maybe he's queer.
Oh, come off it. Fletch is all man.
Yeah, well, the bits we can see are, we don't know about the rest, though.
Hey, maybe he killed someone. Yeah, you know, I reckon he'd be capable of killing.
Oh, that's a load of bull. Fletch is all talk and bluff, nothing more.
He's got real mean eyes. You have a look at him up close one day, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, if you remember what it is, give us a yell. We might be able to use it.
Hey, Lonnie, would you do me a favour?
Depends what it is.
Well, I've been thinking about what you and Bea said about the money, you know, about having to hide it real good.
Yeah?
My old man's a real demon, you know, he can smell money a mile off.
So?
So, I don't reckon I've hit it too good.
What do you want me to do about it?
You'll be getting out of here soon, won't you? Well, if I give you a piece of the action, do you reckon you could move it to a safer spot for me?